Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com, and welcome to another live stream, which means more coding challenges. So I figured today we'll go back to JavaScript, and let's see here. Let's go to kata. Well, you guys know the drill. I'll find some kata. We'll say level 7. Thinking full string drills, quotable. Sure, let's try that out. JavaScript. This function should take two string parameters, a person's name and a quote of theirs, and return a string attributing the quote to the person in the following format. Okay, for example, if name is Gray, your function should return Gray said. Practice makes perfect. Unfortunately, something is wrong with the instructions in the function body. Your job is to fix it so the function returns correctly formatted quotes. Click the train button. Okay, this is pretty straightforward. Okay, quotable quote. Okay, so I don't even need to go over the VS Code for this one. I can just say what we want to do, and is it supposed to return it? Version, the quote of theirs, and return a string. Okay, return backticks. Okay, name said. Quote. That's it. That's literally it. Okay. So let's run that. Practice makes perfect. It's equal. Let's see here. Gray. They said practice makes perfect. Oh, we need to put quotation marks in it. I see. Okay, so we just do this then. Put quotation mark there, get rid of the second quotation mark there, and quotation mark here, get rid of that second quotation mark, and then that should do it. There we go. Okay, am I even going to bother saving this in the repo? No, that one was pretty straightforward, so let's just get the points, move on. Okie dokie. That was a layup. Let's try to find something a little trickier. An irreducible sum of rationals. Duplicates everywhere. Yeah, let's try this. Okay, you are given a table in which every key is a stringified number and each corresponding value is an array of characters. Okay. Create a function that returns a table with the same keys, but each character should only appear once among the value arrays. Okay. Rules: whenever the two keys share the same character, they should be compared numerically. So let's see here. Whenever the two keys share the same character, they should be compared numerically, and the larger key will keep that character. That's why in the example above, the array under the key 2 contains A and B as 2 and 1. Okay. Oh, okay. I see. That's fun. Okay. Let's do it. Okay, so this one I am going to want to take over the VS Code, but the basic idea is this. I'm going to want to go get the array of keys. So I'm going to do the object.keys thing, and then I'm going to iterate over it, but then have this sort of cumulative array off to the side of letters I've processed before. So that way I have a filter that keeps comparing them to this array, and if it's not included in the array, it adds it back. If it is, then it doesn't. I originally was going to just make sets and get rid of the duplicates, but I have to make sure that the things are not in the other array. So that's the deal there. And then, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this in reverse order. Okay, assuming that the keys. Okay, whenever two keys share the same. Okay, let me just see the examples I gave you. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and here's where we get start getting complicated because the keys are not in necessarily numerical order. Cool. This is going to be fun. Okay, I get it. Okay, so let's go to VS Code. Let's create plus dupes everywhere .js. Okay, so I'm going to put the function there. And again, I want to also put the URL to the challenge at the top, so that way when people look at my repo, my code challenges repo, they can see where these challenges come from. And let me just copy over an example. I'm going to copy over this example because it's the one that is going to be trickiest to beat. Okay, obj3, const result 3, duplicate, and then we'll just console log result 3. Okay. So the first things first, I need the keys, and I need the keys as numbers so I can sort them numerically. So basically what I'm going to do is this, object.keys. I'm fishing out the keys of this object, so that's going to give me the array of keys. Okay, now that I have the array of keys, what I'm going to want to do is parse them all as numbers. So then I'm going to do a map where I'm going to take each one and then just return the integer version of it, each key. And then after that, I am going to sort the array, so that way it's sorted numerically. But it's going to need a sorting function because some of those numbers are of more than one digit. So I need to pass it a sorting function that'll sort it mathematically. So it's x, y, it's always the same thing, x, y, and then you return x minus y. That'll sort the numbers numerically, and then I'm going to want to reverse the order of that. Okay. And then that should give me the keys I need, and then things get a little bit easier. So again, to kind of rethink through that, I am grabbing all the keys from the object, getting an array of the keys, but again, the keys are all strings. I want to turn those into numbers, because again, all the keys are going to be numbers, basically, like you see, they're going to be like 432, 53, 236. I want to get those all in an array. I want them as numbers, though, so I map them and parse them as integers. Then that gives me a new array of just the integer versions. I sort that array, so I pass in the sorting function to do that, and then I reverse it, so that way they're in reverse order. Because the idea is the higher number should take priority, so basically if I find a letter in the higher number, then I just ignore that number going forward. And then that's that. Okay? So, cool. Let's console log that. Let's just make sure that that gave us what we need. Console.log keys. So terminal node dupes everywhere. Why did it say that? Node, did I spell it wrong? Yeah, I did. Node dupe everywhere. Okay, good. So that I did what I wanted. The array of numbers I'm going to use as keys. Perfect. So that's good. Now, the next thing first thing I want to do is I'm going to make an empty array, const found equals an empty array, and the idea is that this array is going to, so like we go over p, if p is not in the array yet, then it goes in the array and we add it back into that particular array. And we just kind of keep doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say for key of keys, parentheses, curly brackets. So for each key, what I want to do is do a obj dot filter, and then for each letter inside the object, what I want to do is just see like does found, if found dot includes, and this works fine because since they're just strings, they're primitives, I can just use includes and do a quick like true or false, is it in there or not. So if it's in there, includes letter. If it is in there, okay, return false, meaning I don't want that again. And if it's not in there, then what I want to do, so it won't make it back in there. And I just realized that one, it was got to be object key. So key, and then we have to do obj key, and again, how's it supposed to come back as? Okay, it's supposed to come back as an object still. Okay. Okay, so obj key equals, and yeah. So is that key filtered, found out includes? If not, what we're going to want to do is say found dot push, and then we're going to push the letter in there, and then return true, because that one should stick around. Okay, because again, filter will just work basically return true if we want to keep the letter, return false if you don't want to keep the thing. That's how the filter works. So that will loop through each one, filter all the things, and then when that's said and done, I just want to return obj because I'll have mutated it. Okay, the question is, will it let me mutate it? But let's see here. Okay, ABD, good. Now wait a second. 4, 3, 2. Originally had A. Yep, there we go. A, B, D. Good, because all of those were first, and it didn't do the second A. Then 2, 3, 6. L, G, X, G, H. L. Oh, 2, 3, 6. L. Well, yep. So L, X, because that wasn't in there yet. G, H, because X was already in here, and then A was already in there. Then we go to 53. L was already here. G was already there. B was already here. C is fine. Then we go to 11. P is new. R is new. S is new, but D was already over here. Yeah, that did the thing. That works. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. So let's copy that over, and let's see if Code Wars approves. So let's test it out. Okay, it's happy with my results. Okay, I can get rid of the console log. Okay, let's do an attempt. And yay, hit all of them up. Good. And then let's hit submit. Okay, let's see what other people did. Okay, so that was kind of the same approach I took. Okay, similar approach. Object.keys.reduce equals new set for each. So what they're doing. So you're starting with an empty object, and then you're saying that for that particular key, if you start off with a set, so you get rid of all duplicates, and you're saying for each v equals I, v equals k. So that's for each item in that array value. You're trying to see if I is the accumulator, which is the object, equals k. Interesting. I want to take me a second to wrap my head around. Let's see here. Yeah, most people kind of took the same approach I took. Not from. Okay, you guys get the idea. Dashboard. Okay. Let's do. Should we do another Rust one? Yeah, let's do another Rust one. Just because this is just fun just to have that level of frustration that Rust causes. Okay, Rust. Let's keep it level 8 because my Rust skills are not like my JavaScript skills. Find the smallest integer in an array. Okay, I think I can probably handle that, Rust. We'll see. Okay. Given an array of integers, your solution should find the smallest integer. For example, given your solution should return 2, should return 3, 4, 5. Your supply array will not be empty. Okay, so let's just see. Like do Rust array sort. Is there a sort method? Okay. Let's see here. Example source of vector. Insert sort method vec.sort. Okay. Now. Okay, sort by. Okay, so it does take a sort. Can't take a sort method if I use this sort by method. Okay. Let me see if I can open up the documentation on sort by the comparator function. Okay, so it just takes a function. I get it. But then I need to create a new vector from an array. So let's remember that. Convert array into vector. Rust. Okay, slice to vec. Okay, simple enough. Okay. So what I want is we'll say let v equal v for vector. Let v equal r dot to vec. Okay, and then I want to take that vector and sort by, and then we pass in a function x, y, return x minus y. Okay, that should give me, let's just first see if that works. Print v, so I gotta do this whole thing because it's Rust. Nothing can be straightforward in Rust. Okay, and then these need semicolons. And then let's just return a number. Return v1 or 0, just so that way return something. Mismatch types. Okay, let's see here. Cannot index into a value of type. Let's see here. Where is it pointing to? Expected enum. Sort by a. Okay, let's just see here. Maybe this sort, does a normal sort already kind of like just do what we need to do? Again, worst case, when applicable, unstable sorting is preferred because it's generally faster than stable sorting and it doesn't allocate auxiliary memory. Let's just see here. Let's just try sort. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I was like, wait a second, that looks like JavaScript. Okay, so cut that out for a second and just make this sort. Let's test that out. Cannot index into a value of type. So is that what it wants me to do? v.0. Let's try that. Okay, for more information, oh, I'm just going to say return 1. The return value is not really my concern right now. Okay, log, and it's going to log an empty. So let's do this. I want to see the array beforehand, so let's log the array. So that's the array, but it's not being turned to a vector. Okay. So maybe that's not the right way to do it. So here the iterator only returns. Okay, so let's try this. Again, it goes to the collect method. And the way I understand the collect method is that it's going to collect a whole bunch of values into, and then just, it ends up being storing it whatever this is typed as. So in that case, what it wants me to do would be something like this. So I'd have to be like, let v equal, and then I would have to put in a, it would be a vector, a vector of type I32, and then we would say equal R to iter, that makes it an iterable. Okay, and then we're cloning the values, dot cloned, and then you are, because they're own values, so if you don't clone them, then you're borrowing them, and it comes into this whole memory thing, and that's, as far as I understand it, iter cloned, and then we want to collect. And let's see if that does what I want it to do. Test. Okay, let's see here. Oh, need semicolons. Okay, good. That's a good step. So let's see here. Can I dot sort it then afterwards? Let's see here. Just let me sort it. Okay. I think I need to do that in a separate line. I'm trying to do too much in one line. V dot sort. Let's see here. Does that help? Okay, cannot borrow v as mutable as it is not declared as mutable. Oh, okay. Because it needs to be mutable, so I can change the numbers around. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Okay, so then we can just return the... Okay, I thought accessing a vector in Rust. I thought I was just, using square brackets and an index, but let's just double check. Vector pop. Yeah, okay, so I was right. So I don't know why that didn't work before, but we'll just do that. 0. And huzzah! I did it. Okay, so let me copy this over. Let's do it in the Rust folder, open folder, code challenges. Nope. Here we go, daily code practice. Rust. Coding challenges. And this is like smallest integer. So we paste that there. And if you're looking at this and you're like, oh wow, Rust looks tricky, and you only know like one language, like trust me, most languages aren't that terse. But Rust versus like the alternative of something like programming in a C, it's definitely like, it definitely has like a lot of niceties that would be more difficult in C. So again, it's just like compared to what. Okay, cool. So that's there. Now let's hit attempt and hit submit. And huzzah! We did it. Let's just see how some other people did it. Okay, so in this case, they took the array, they turned it into an iterable, they got the minimum number from it, and they unwrapped it. And if I remember seeing this unwrap thing. Like, what happens? Unwrap means like it's nested in something else. So like a promise type thing. I forget what they call them. But sometimes you have values in another thing, and you have a choice. You can either do like this whole pattern matching sequence, or you can use unwrap. And I remember there's a few other functions because I remember running into this when I was trying to make an API with Rocket, and just grabbing some of the values asynchronously was took me a while to wrap my head around. Okay, so in this case, again, they're grabbing the minimum number, then they're mapping it, and they're just saying, okay, x, okay. Mute smallest, array 2. Here they're just looping over the array. Okay, so this is what I was talking about before, where you have to map it, this pattern matching. So basically they're saying, okay, hey, you ran the minimum number function, and now it's going to loop through the values. Okay. So none's going to equal 0. Sum will just equal, and it's just basically pushing the values into the new iterable. One of those things I still need to read more into. Like, I kind of get it. Even in like things like OCaml, I found pattern matching. Well, it's basically like kind of like a switch statement. It's not, and it's a little bit more complicated. And the way Rust does it is even a little bit more complicated. I can definitely see places where it's nice to have it work that way. There's a lot of other places where it just feels like I'm just typing more. But again, the point of Rust isn't to type less, but to be able to write like fast programs with a little bit more abstraction than just C. Like, that's kind of like the deal there. Cool. Yeah, so I'll leave it at that. I'll see you guys in the next live stream. You guys have a